this one away. And off we go from Lambeau. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Go! First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Check pass. Check pass.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers, a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Switch up. Mike 42.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. A big play that time for the Ravens. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. A very solid gain of 27. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Was sacked by Justin Ellis. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. To throw is Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. To throw is Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
1st down, Ravens.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Check 4, check 4.
Jackson from the shotgun. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Pass from Jackson, complete to Ingram.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line.
And the Raven 1st down.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ravens 7, Packers nothing.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line.
Ready. Choose the mic. Check. Boy, choose the mic.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. Snead's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to air one, and Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well, and he would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Tyler Irvin back deep. Fielded at about the 28. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. To try again after the sack. Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. It's complete to Snead. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown as the first half is winding down. As the Ravens push further out in front. Whoa. He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position.
And my goodness, another interception. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Getting it to them in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
At the 31-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Ingram again. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from first down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Come on, Shaq. 18 Gator. Chuck, Mike 42. All day, baby, all day.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it to Jackson. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Now Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 61 yards. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On 4th down, Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. Well, Charles, I guess the only thing I can think there is they've got a 3-score lead, and they're saying, we're not going to lose this, so let's have some fun. I don't know why you go for it.
I think that's as good an explanation as any, and we all know that certain coaches are more aggressive than others. That call to me, the fantasy people loved it, right? Anybody who's going to touch the ball, gain yards, maybe put more points on the board, they're happy that they kept it and did that. So very interesting deal there, but I'm with you on that one. Maybe he just says, what the heck, we can't lose. Let's go ahead and keep trying to win or add to our lead.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers get a score closer. Crosby with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. 42's the mic, boy. 42. 42's the mic.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And at the end of it, he stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Packers pick it up. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Rodgers now to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
18 more yards. That's another Packers first down.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Caught right side at Snead. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
Ready. Nice 50. Oh, here we go. Oh.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here we go. Go to base. 50. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 34. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught. A big pickup of 38. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. And Jackson throwing once more. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know it's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Roy.
Rodgers going to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
It's caught by Roberts. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory. But they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're playing that day. You're not just battling the crowd that's in attendance in that game. You're battling the history of the franchise. You're battling the ghosts that swirl around that place that help spur them on to victory. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, the most historic place in the league, and you have to make sure you stay focused on your task. Otherwise, you can get easily distracted.
Yeah, hats off to them for keeping that laser focus and getting the victory. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.